I'm outside Phoenix, Arizona with the all-new 2022 redesigned Lexus NX. We have the 350 hybrid behind us. Let's get into it. What can I say? A beautiful car and a beautiful landscape. I just happen to be underneath some power lines. That's not sketchy or anything, but it is just, I mean, look at the cactus, guys. Anyways, back to the car. It's just so beautiful out here. I could spend a lot of time in this beautiful environment, and it helps to have a brand new, gorgeous looking car with us along the way. But let's do a little walk around with this beautiful new color for the NX. This is Grecian water. We saw it on the RX. We've seen it on the, I think the IS as well. It debuted on the 2021 IS refresh, but it's just gorgeous. I have the triple beam LED headlights on this specific model, and yeah, they're on right now. They're gorgeous. What do you think? Now on the new NX, they've brought the daytime running light into the same headlight housing as the triple beams. Now the triple beams are optional. You can get them with the single beams, but the triple beams, of course, are gonna look cooler. They don't necessarily make the car like see better at night, but they're definitely really, really cool. And you'll see them on the higher end trims for the NX. Little fog lights down at the bottom. And what's different with the non-F Sports this time around is that in America, the F Sport grille was about very similar to this in terms of the dimensions and went all the way to the ground, but the non-F Sport grille kind of cut in. It almost looked like it had really good approach angles, which it probably did, but it didn't look quite as good as the F Sport models because the front bumper just looked like it was chopped off. Well, that's no longer the case on the non-F Sport models with the Lexus NX. So it comes down all the way just as low as the F Sport model, and this new grille, it has been redesigned. So we have, I like to think of it as like plated armor. It reminds me of like old Persian armor. Not that I was around in those days that I know of, but that's kind of reminds me of. I really like the new grille design. I think it looks a lot better than the outgoing NX grille design. Now let's get on the other side. I think the lighting is gonna be better on the wheels. These are 20-inch wheels. It's going to be a lot easier to get your hands on 20-inch wheels on the NX. They weren't available on the last edition. So we'll just get up close. I'll tell you the exact dimensions. 235 by 50 with a 20-inch rim on it. It's a gorgeous looking wheel. And from the side, as I go back through the brush here and fight my way through flies, it is really good looking from the side. It definitely looks bigger. There's about 15% more cargo capacity. I'll tell you the exact amount. It's around 15%. It just looks really good. Now on the F Sport, the DLO or the daylight openings, AKA the window trim, that's blacked out, but in the non-F Sports, like you see right here, it's chrome, and we have a little bit of chrome on the paint match windows as well. We're gonna go around to the back. Hopefully I don't fall off this valley cliff here. But it's, yeah, I've got this car a little dusty. That's not a bad thing. That's what this vehicle should. It's all-wheel drive standard. We'll go into the powertrain more in a little bit. But the rear end just looks really, really clean. There's no exhaust tips hanging out or anything like that, especially since this is a hybrid. Lexus is now stamped, or I should say, letters are affixed, attached, words right now. Letters are attached instead of the Lexus emblem. And the rear taillights are new for Lexus. We saw a light bar kind of go across on the new IS. Well, here on the new NX, we have all new taillights with a light bar going all the way across. It definitely looks wider from the rear than the old NX, and that's not a bad thing. So I think it's time to open up the hood here, talk about the powertrain. Now I did mention that it's all-wheel drive, standard for the 350h. It also comes in a little bit cheaper than the 350 turbo. Go figure, the turbo has more torque and more power, but the 350h, as we see right here, this has 239 horsepower. Torque numbers aren't official on Lexus and Toyota hybrids, but the torque is good. The torque response is good. It's smooth. I'll share my fuel economies on the way up. I'm kind of pretty high up in elevation right now, but on the way up here I was getting around 30 miles per gallon. I'll update you guys with the full miles per gallon on my round trip when I'm all finished and said and done. But 239 horsepower, electronic CVT. It's a power split device. It's really, really smooth, really responsive. And I think we should probably open up the rear hatch as well. Just keep in mind, every single door handle now is a digital latch, just like the hatch. So you just press a button, whether it's on the hatch or the door, and it'll open it up for you. So here's the improved cargo capacity. Let's see if I can widen the lens a little bit for you guys. So lots of space in here. Underneath there's additional cargo. This is probably where the battery is. Yeah, here's your 12-volt battery. I don't know if you guys can see that, but 12-volt batteries in there. Here's your tonneau cover. It's more of a cloth similar to the UX. And this removable floor essentially is their standard, but definitely more space. And let's fold down this seat so you guys have a better idea of the interior. I'm not going to fold down this one. I don't think it's going to go down. Oh, it did go down. Look at that. So there's your full cargo in the new NX. I'll put all the numbers for you guys. I don't know exactly off the top of my head what these numbers are, but there's definitely more space, more cargo in the brand new NX. We're going to press this button, close down the hatch, and we're going to walk around to the side, and we're going to get into the interior of this brand new NX. Now, getting on the inside of the new NX, all the doors have a digital latch. There's a little button here, you press it, opens the door, and you just pull. The handle does not move. Here we have the Rioja red. So there's also a circuit red on the F Sport. This is a Rioja red. We have a black open pore wood here. This is an optional 17 speaker Mark Levinson, upgraded from 14 speakers. Now we're gonna get on the inside of this new model, and it's really just flies everywhere. I got him, see you later. And digital latch as well. We'll throw out this fly, you just press that button and see you, bud. Anyways, who would have thought that flies would be a big deal out here in the national forests of Tonto? Oh, you can actually see the heads-up display. So I'm going to do my best to do the heads-up display because it's really hard for me to capture on some of my cameras. So we're going to try to roll with it while I got it in view here on the GoPro. But I'm going to touch the climate control because I'm in the desert. I'm going to turn it on because I turned it off when I was doing the walk around. Didn't want to kill the hybrid battery. You guys know, for efficiency's sake. Let's talk about this heads-up display. I'm really excited about it because it is customizable with the new steering wheel. So these buttons are interchangeable. I can press this and it changes these functional buttons here. So if I press this button, it shows up on the heads-up display, and then I can choose my cruise control if I want. Which, by the way, is really good with the adaptive cruise control and the lane centering. It's fantastic. Adaptive cruise mode, it's great. Lane tracing, definitely wonderful. Now, if I press the button for changing it, I can move my heads-up display, move that around, and then I can also change the information up here, kind of. In my experience, when I change the information, and actually is changing the information on the 7-inch, brand new 7-inch MID. I can also change that screen a little bit with the drive mode. So here's sport mode. That's going to change the looks of the 7-inch MID, which is optional, by the way. And then here is eco mode, which I've been driving mostly in this hybrid model. In terms of interior, everything is soft touch. On the doors, it's really high quality. We have kind of like this sparkly dark gray or black material here. It's not glossy, it's kind of a nice finish. Auto folding mirrors on this model, go figure. Hello, we just saw ourselves in the camera there. Glossy black finish here, and as we go across, of course this is very glossy black, and I'm sure you guys can see the fingerprints on it. So that's the pros and cons. Now the screen is very easy to see. It's optically bonded, meaning the glares are kept to a minimum, whereas the screen behind here still collects quite a few glares, unfortunately. Luckily, this has a heads-up display, so I can look to see my miles per hour on the heads-up display instead of always having to look down here. But it would have been nice if this was a little bit more visible, as this screen is. This screen is just a shining star, even in the middle of day. It's just really bright, really easy to see, very low glare. All your climate controls here. I can check whatever I want. Very simple, very easy to use. Lexus calls it the Tizuna cockpit. It's supposed to be a mimicking of horse and rider and that relationship between the horse and the rider. Now, right now I have the standard navigation on here. This is a subscription service, and it also will do things like, hey Lexus, turn off the climate control.
Turning off AC.
Okay, so that's a really bad idea in the middle of the desert, as we know. So, hey Lexus,
what do you want to do?
Set climate control to 69 degrees. I didn't do that on purpose, by the way. It's just at 70, so I was thinking 1 degree less. But set climate control to 69 degrees.
Setting the driver's seat temperature to 69 degrees.
Now, it only did it for the driver. It kept, well, it kept this one as well because it's on sync. So these knobs are really high quality, a good resistance to them, very light, and a nice rubber outside to it. We have some additional menus in here if you guys wanted to see that. So there's Lexus IDs, which I'm not really going to get into, but you can transfer your settings from this vehicle to other Lexus vehicles in the future that have this new Lexus interface technology. Here's your driving energy flow, your diagram here. This looks really basic, I'm not gonna lie. The diagram, my 2012 hybrid Prius, is more high quality than this diagram. So yeah, not sure why they made it so rudimentary, but there's other things you can set here in the vehicle settings. Trip information, for example, it was hard for me to clear it over here and up here for my miles per gallon, so I actually had to go into this setting and go to clear data, because for some reason I'm getting 35 miles per gallon, but it was largely uphill and I'm sitting still right now anyways. Wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. I have mine wired right now, so my battery's charged. I don't have a wireless charging phone yet, but you do have a wireless charger here. So you can set it up wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. We have a high quality leather-like shift knob. It's shift by wire. The F Sport had some dimples on it, but it was very similar to this. Nice red accent around, and my knee brushes up against this soft padding, so I really enjoy that. EV mode, some sort of all-terrain mode. I wasn't able to get this well, there you go. There's a little light down there. I'm not exactly sure what it does, so maybe it just thinks it's an off-road button. That's what it looks like to me, but it doesn't look like it's customizable. So that's something I got to do some research on. But in here is your glove box. Lexus key was in there. Seats are really high quality. These seats to me are a little bit more comfortable than the F Sports. The bolstering isn't quite as stiff around the midsection. And then we have this nice chevron pattern here going down with some stitching in this Rioja red. We're gonna open up the sunroof together. Let's just press this button. Open it up. It's opening up the big roof as well, which I don't want the Arizona sun. Nope. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, here we go. I figured it out. So on this side we have the sunshade, which that's what I should have pressed. Over here is the sunroof. So I'm going to close the sunroof. Again, growing pains. I'm learning this new vehicle, and this is the sunshade, which new panoramic sunroof, new in this all new 2022 NX. Memory seats here. This is really top of the line NX 350h that we have here. I don't know what it's missing. It has a lot. It even has the self-parking, which I don't need out here. Here's a 360 camera. Just press this button, and it's definitely an upgrade over the last 360 camera on the NX. So that's a good thing. I'm not going to get too much into that. Again, digital latch, which if there's a biker coming or a car coming, it won't let me open the door to preserve the lives of others and the lives of the car door. So that's a new safety feature that's standard on the NX. And we're going to open up this real quick. Again, we have reprise of the dark open pore wood here with the Mark Levinson speaker. High quality door here, digital latch for the rear passenger, which if you want to open it manually, you pull this twice, opens it up for us. And then let's see here, this has the digital raising seats, or should I say the electronically raising seats. I'm going to press that button. And there it goes. That's something new on the NX. Unfortunately, I haven't found a way that these seats recline. I know the battery is going to sit under here, the traction battery for the hybrid, but I can also raise the seat manually as well. So that's nice. You have a choice. Sometimes certain vehicles will lock you out. Now in the back, 2 USB-Cs down here and a 12-volt accessory. And we have the heated seats that come standard on the outboard with the electronically folding seats. We also have cup holders here. But I think it's time to start driving this new NX. As we're leaving underneath the power lines here, we do have a little bit of an off-road segment, which, you know, I just went for it. I'm like, I know this has all-wheel drive, and it's a pretty capable little crossover here. So we're gonna take our time getting. There's one little sketchy part over here that I need to take the high road on, and I think we'll be a-okay as long as we just don't slide down the too far. There we go. We're good. We're off to the races, and we're gonna go back to the main road here as we come down out the power line. So if you're wondering, off-roading, Yeah, it's totally doable in the hybrid, which is all-wheel drive standard. So you shouldn't have to worry about anything there. But in this drive, we're gonna focus not so much about off-roading or performance. We're gonna talk about fuel economy. This all-new 2.5 liter made it to the Toyota hybrid system, has a lithium-ion battery pack, and it's about 20% more powerful than the outgoing model. And okay, let's turn her off. Anyways, we'll talk about the navigation as we come to a stop here after I go over the powertrain. So the hybrid system, 20% more powerful and probably about the same, well, not as an efficiency, it's definitely more efficient. It's combined around 39 miles per gallon efficiency, and I'm getting...
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding you.
Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button, I guess. So yeah, anyways, she should be done talking to us. Speaking of, I want to call her Alexa, but speaking of Lexus, so we have our own AI in here that she's pretty helpful, and she'll be updated with over-the-air updates. Finally, that's right, you heard it, Lexus with over-the-air updates. But she was able to find the way back to where I needed to take the car for the media event. She found it no problem via voice. I said, hey, so-and-so, so I don't want to trigger her. I said it, and I said, this is the address, and she took me there, where my Android Auto wouldn't do it because I don't have cell phone reception out here in the middle of nowhere. So, hey, Lexus, tell me a joke.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding you.
She doesn't know what a joke is. She doesn't have a sense of humor like Siri or Alexa, but she'll get better. She'll get better. I have high hopes for her. She reminds me a little bit of Cortana, you know, if you're a gaming nerd. So anyways, let's focus on the driving mechanics now of this vehicle. The vehicle is very smooth. To me, it's just as smooth, or maybe even a hair smoother than the Lexus RX. And I know that vehicle's a little bit long in the tooth, but this vehicle, being smaller, shouldn't be as smooth or smoother than the RX. It is. And the ride quality, when you push it through the turns, it's pretty good. Now, this is not the F Sport, which, by the way, you cannot get the F Sport package on the 350 hybrid here in America, so that's unfortunate. If you're overseas, you'll be able to get the F Sport package with the performance dampers, adaptive variable suspension on this powertrain, but not here in America. So that's kind of a sad point, but the vehicle still looks really good even without the F Sport package. This also has a digital rear view mirror, so if you have tall people in the middle seat and you just can't see out of your back window, that's when you flip it into digital rear view mirror, and it works pretty well. Really high quality, even in low visibility. As I come around the crest here, just seeing the mountain ranges is really, really beautiful out of this national. I don't know why this is called a national forest. I don't see a whole lot of trees, but you know what? Forests come in all shape and sizes, just like cars and people, right? This is the second best-selling vehicle for Lexus, and I think there's a potentiality that this could be rivaling the Lexus RX in sales if Lexus makes enough of them. I don't know what availability is going to like. I know this vehicle will be available late in the year 2021 due to supply chain issues. It was supposed to be available maybe November, late November timeframe. Well, that's been pushed back, unfortunately. But yeah, everything's just really cozy in here. I could easily take a long trip, get some great miles per gallon while I'm doing it. I'm running in fully electric mode right now. And speaking of electric and gasoline, it's really hard to tell the difference between when you're on gasoline or not. And if I just press in the gas a little bit, I didn't notice the engine coming on at all. I have to look down here to see if it's in EV mode, meaning the gas engine off, to see if the gasoline engine is off. So Toyota and Lexus continue to refine the hybrid system to make it more smooth, and it is top notch here in terms of that luxury smoothness feel. I'm just gonna hit it just a little bit, and I didn't even hear the engine come on. Now, if you guys want to see the performance, it's 239 horsepower. I'm gonna hit it go. Not much of a delay, as I've come to expect in this Toyota hybrid system, but yeah, it's quick. It's quick. You know, it feels about as quick as the outgoing 2.0 turbo, maybe even quicker. So that's the level of acceleration. Of course, the plug-in hybrid is going to be the fastest, 0 to 60. It has the most horsepower and it has a lot more electrification to it. This might be the route I would be going if I'm getting an NX. And I haven't driven the plug-in hybrid yet, but I've driven the RAV4 Prime, which is the same powertrain. And that vehicle is going to start at around 55K, and you'll be able to get this vehicle for easily 10K less and with a lot of features in it as well. And is it really worth spending an extra 10K or so over this hybrid to get that all-electric range, to get a little bit more performance? It's not like 200 more horsepower, you know, it's 239 to 302. But maybe my idea will change when I drive the plug-in hybrid variant of this vehicle. But as it stands, I mean, this vehicle as it is, super smooth. And as I'm coming down from the mountain here, just kind of coasting and charging the battery. So that's good to see. That's going to help my fuel economy. My fuel economy is right around 35 miles per gallon still. Again, I floored it a second ago. That's not going to help the fuel economy. Now, what I've noticed is when you have a destination plugged in here like we do, it also comes on the heads-up display. But when I have a destination plugged into my Android Auto, it doesn't come on my heads-up display, but it comes up on my MID here, the 7-inch MID. So the GPS may have sent me a different way here, so I don't know if this is the right way. We'll see what happens.
Where are you headed?
I'm here for a Lexus event. The GPS sent me this way.
I can
tell you the address.
Just on the other side of our border.
Okay.
So I believe you're going to be going to Carefree Ranch. So you'll want to go down to Pima.
Okay.
Go back down to Pima, and then just follow that straight back. You'll hit another guard gate, and then that's Carefree
okay.
Ranch.
Because I know we went through a gate, I just didn't know. But yeah, the GPS sent me here, so.
Yeah, we share a border. There's a couple crossover gates, but you can't get through them unless you're a resident on both sides.
Interesting.
So yeah, the GPS does that to people all the time.
Does it? Okay. All right. Sorry to throw you for a loop.
No worries. Yeah, I'll just have you flip back around.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
So the new Lexus GPS, even though it got me working on a route, it sent me on the wrong way through a residence that doesn't connect to the residence area or the gated community that I'm trying to get to. Anyways, you know, nothing better than verbal instructions from locals, right? Let's see what the GPS does. That's a nice little Tacoma there that they have for the patrol. Let's see what the GPS does when we get back on the road, and let's see it recalculate. Hopefully it takes me the way I'm supposed to be going. But I do want to test the brakes. I don't see anyone behind me. We're gonna, boom, get in the brakes pretty hard. I don't want any of the cameras to fly, but yeah, the brakes are great. They feel just as good as they did in the 350 F Sport I was in. So that's a good thing. We're just gonna hammer it for acceleration. Getting that response is there. And watch for animals. I'm watching, but there's over 60 miles an hour. So if you need to gun it, it's there, but it's not gonna help your fuel economy. Just keep that in mind. But I'm gonna take my time going back to the ranch I'm supposed to if the GPS recalculates, because so far it has not calculated properly. Oh, there it is. It has finally done it. So yeah, it's gonna take me the right way now without having to go through the wrong neighborhoods out here in the desert. Because this is mostly downhill here, I'm just gonna soak up the MPGs at this point in time, and I'm gonna be quiet and let you guys enjoy the beautiful scenery outside of Phoenix, Arizona. Now it's very quiet in here. It's much more quiet than the outgoing Lexus NX. And that wasn't the quietest of Lexus vehicles. I mean, especially when you hit, you know, some like broken pavement and things like that, it didn't handle it very well. The wheelbase felt really short in that vehicle. And in here, it just feels like an RX, but even smoother. We're gonna try to sum up the new hybrid. I think it's stellar. 239 horsepower. You're gonna be getting around 40 miles per gallon. I'll put what that final number is on the screen for you guys right now, so you have an idea of what you can get. Now, I'm not taking this up to high speeds or anything like that, but just keep in mind, in medium to low speeds, you'll be getting that sort of fuel economy. The new screen in here, whether it's the base 9-inch screen or this upgraded 14-inch screen, is amazing. And the new MID, as well as the heads-up display, the new touch controls that are customizable are incredible. They're really intuitive, easy to learn. So, man, the new NX is better than I thought it was going to be. You know, I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about it. Maybe not enough power, maybe not enough this, not enough that, but I'm telling you, Lexus continues the Kaizen mentality, continual improvement, and this NX is better in every single way over the last one. And this is the hybrid. This is probably the variant that I would be getting if I was interested in the new NX. Extremely smooth, extremely quiet, excellent fuel economy, excellent brakes as I'm coming here to this stop sign, pretty linear. A little bit of dead space in the beginning, but that's typical Toyota Lexus hybrids. But other than that, I mean, it's really, really impressive, this new hybrid powertrain. And I'm just gonna cruise on into the residence that the event's at right now. But yeah, anyway, signing out again from Phoenix, Arizona for the last time, at least in this video. I'll see you in the next one, and peace out.